Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 125th Port Huron High School commencement. On behalf of all of the faculty and staff and administration and the school district, I'd like to extend a special welcome tonight to our parents, grandparents, friends, and of course our alumni. Tonight, 302 of Port Huron High School's finest seniors are graduating. And we are here to congratulate this class for their year of excellence and their contribution to their school and to their community. We're very, very proud of them. Tonight ends a week of senior activities, which included the prom, senior assembly, baccalaureate, senior luncheon, commencement, and project graduation. It's been a busy week for these young people, and they've done a wonderful, wonderful job, and we're very proud of them. This has been their year of excellence. It's our exemplary year at Port Huron High School. And on behalf of the entire staff, we'd like to thank them for making these young people be able to be here tonight. And I would like to extend a thank you to Mr. Tom Miller, Mr. Ken Semmelsberger, Mr. Ron Willeen, Mr. Dave Epley, and Mr. Mark Law, our class sponsor, Mr. Robert Haas, Mr. Robert Clark, our band director, our custodial staff, our head custodian, Dan Bauer, and two very special parents who've worked so hard for these past 2 years, Mr. Jerry Ward and Gene Bauman, co-chairman of Project Graduation, and their committee have done a wonderful job in preparing tonight's activities for these seniors after this event is over. For the graduating class of 1993, we will be holding our Project Graduation celebration party beginning at 10:30 p.m. tonight at the YMCA. This is an event that none of you will want to miss. We have over $5,000 worth of prizes in gifts to give away to these seniors who will spend the entire evening. This safe and supervised evening is made possible because of the commitment of our community, our local businesses, and our parent involvement. We salute these supporters for their concern in helping to provide a safe and a fun-filled evening and environment for our seniors. We'd like to thank them. At this time, will the audience please stand for the singing of the national anthem, which will be performed tonight by Jennifer Hudson, Melissa Clivan, and Link Howard IV.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn
Thank you, Jennifer, Melissa, and Link. At this time, the senior class prayer will be given by Glenn Wood.
Let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight and we just praise you for allowing us seniors to have these last 4 years to spend together. And as we assemble here tonight, Lord, one last time, I ask that your blessings be upon each and every graduate as we prepare for our futures. I ask that your hand of guidance be upon our lives and all the decisions and situations we face. Whether it be college, work, or family, I ask that your wisdom would be made plain to us and that we can each fulfill your plan for our lives. And as we look back, Lord, on our days together, I pray that we can always find a way to give thanks and praise for the friends, memories, and good times we shared together as the class of '93. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Glenn. Will the class of 1993 please be seated? It's my privilege at this time to present to the audience and to the class the superintendent of the Port Huron Area School District, Mr. Larry J. Muller, Sr., who will introduce tonight's speaker. Mr. Muller.
Thank you, Dr. Crosby. This is indeed one of the highlights of my year, and I count it a privilege to be a part of the commencement activity for the class of 1993 at Port Huron High School, and to introduce the speaker. Before I introduce the speaker, I'd like to express on behalf of the Board of Education and myself our congratulations to each of you, best wishes, and God's blessings. Our speaker this evening is Jim Tooman. Mr. Tooman is a graduate of Michigan State University and is very involved in areas of the humanities. He has appeared on ABC, NBC, and CBS National News, the Today Show, Our Magazine, National PM Magazine, Charles Kuralt Morning Show, and the Oprah Winfrey Show. He has been featured in Newsweek, USA Today, Business Week, the Chicago Sun-Times, the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times, as well as both of the Detroit papers. Mr. Tooman has been the subject of a half-hour documentary shown nationwide in Japan in March of 1984. Mr. Tooman believes in balance in his life and has done so by such diverse things as being a circus clown, a rodeo ride, a symphonic musician, a cake decorator, and a parade enthusiast. He spent a part of the summer of 1983 as a roadie with the rock group Journey, as well as a part of the summer of 1985 working as a famine relief worker in Ethiopia. He has passed a milestone of speaking to more than 1 million students in more than 1,000 schools worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, and honored graduates of the class of '93, I present to you Jim Tooman. Mr. Tooman.
Who's the most important person you know? 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 Why was that so difficult for some of you in the room to say that you were the most important person that you knew? Every one of you graduates can influence thousands of people in your life. What, though, are you going to be able to give them if you don't feel good enough about yourselves to give them something? I was coming back from Chicago after being on the road 5 straight days working at this level of intensity to groups of 1,000 or more. And I just wanted some peace and quiet. I just wanted to be alone. And I found this restaurant, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, completely empty. All the lunchtime crowd had gone. I grabbed a newspaper, walked all the way down to the last seat of the counter, and literally wanted to tune out the world. Didn't want to talk to one person. And I'm sitting in there reading the newspaper when I look out of the corner of my eye and a guy walks in. He could have picked any seat at the counter, anyone. Instead, he walks all the way down, sits down right next to me and starts talking. And I got real uncomfortable. I thought, what does this guy want from me? What could he possibly want? And I kept on tuning him out. He kept on talking. And you know how sometimes a word or a phrase or a gesture catches you? That's what happened with this guy. Turned out he was 36 years old. He had built a small business in Northern California into a multi-million-dollar computer business. 4 weeks before he met me, he had walked into his doctor's office for a routine annual company physical. Doctor called him up 3 days later, told this guy he had leukemia, less than 6 months to live. This guy was just blown away. He had all the stuff, all the toys he could possibly want. He had a beautiful home on the side of the mountain in Carmel overlooking the Pacific. He had the cars, the boats, everything he could possibly want. Now he didn't have the time to be able to enjoy any of these things. And he did something, everyone, that was incredibly courageous, to me at least. He decided what he was going to do was to take off, sell everything in the world that he owned, take off, and just get a chance to go around the country seeing the things he never got a chance to see, working 16, 18-hour days and talking to people like me he never got a chance to talk to. And I was so moved and so touched by this guy's courage that I actually wound up at the end of the lunch getting up and giving this guy a hug, wishing him good luck, knowing that I would never, ever see this guy again as long as I lived. Chances are he's probably gone now. In 1 hour, I walked out to my car, sat behind the steering wheel, and found myself crying. In 1 hour's time, this man influenced me more than people who have been in my life for 30 years. Every one of you in this graduating class has that opportunity. What, though, are you going to be able to give them if you don't feel good enough about yourselves to give them something? The unfortunate thing, and you're looking at somebody who's truly guilty of this, is that we are all so busy allowing other people to dictate how we should feel about ourselves that we can't see our own value. Let me show you something. Amy, let's assume that everyone in this entire room, in this entire school, in this entire community, we all got together and decided that you were absolutely the ugliest person that we had ever seen. So incredibly ugly, Amy. No matter where you went, people walked behind you and said, wow, there goes Amy, she is so ugly. And no matter where you went, it kept on whispering. And even when you went home, your parents locked you in the bedroom for 2 hours because you're so incredibly ugly. I'm watching you pull back, get real uncomfortable, get real red-faced. Tell me the truth. How do you feel if enough people tell you you're ugly? Ugly. Actually, everybody, I picked on Amy because Amy's really attractive. Amy, let's take the complete opposite side. Let's assume we all got together and said, wow, Amy's a great friend. She's always there when I need her. She always seems to care. She always understands. How do you feel if enough people tell you you're great? Better about yourself. What have we done, everyone, to Amy in the span of 30 seconds? We've taken her from feeling ugly about herself to feeling decent about herself just because all of you guys have decided that's how she should feel. And you buy into it. You allow it to happen. We all allow somebody to keep pulling at us, keep tearing us down. So we wind up living behind a mask. Let me show you something. If you could wake up on Christmas morning, any car in the world that you dreamt about, what kind of car would you want? Any car. A Porsche, tell me what color you want the Porsche. Black. Christmas morning, any car in the world that you always wanted, what kind of car would you want? Was it? A Viper, okay. What color would you want the Viper? What color would you want the Viper? Black? Okay. Let's create for a minute the ultimate for the two of you guys, okay? Let's assume both of you guys really own these cars. You really own these cars, and they are, in your mind, the best thing in the world you ever had. They're the thing you take the most pride in. They're the thing that you love. And you've actually driven the cars to graduation tonight. And when I'm through speaking at the end of graduation, you've got the keys in your pocket. You're going to pick somebody in the graduating class that you really care about, and you're going to take off. You're going to take off. You love these cars. You've done a lot of extra engine work, polished up these cars, and you love them. Now, let's take it one step further, guys. Let's assume that both of these cars are sitting right next to each other in the parking lot, okay? And I'm driving through the parking lot with this enormous crane with a wrecking ball on the crane. And I get to your Porsche, easily a $50,000 car. I take the wrecking ball and I swing it back. I go, wham! Rip off the entire front end of that car. Just pull it off. Drop it one time on the top of that car so the parts are all over the parking lot. All over the parking lot. Move over to your Viper, probably 150 to 200,000 these days. Take the wrecking ball and I swing it back. I go wham, 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 like a riveter. So if there was a back seat to that car, it is now the front seat of the car. There's no insurance on these cars, guys. None whatsoever. You got 41 months of payments left. Both of you guys. At least $1,500, $2,000 a month. In the case of the Viper, probably more. You guys are standing in front of the wreckage of your cars, looking at each other and certainly glaring back at me. I'm going to get into my car, and as I pass the two of you guys pulling out of the parking lot, I'm going to smile and wave to you guys pulling out of that parking lot. Assuming no one was going to come down on you for anything. There was no right or wrong, no judgment issues, nothing. Even in your head, no conscience whatsoever. Nothing, no repercussions, nothing at all. What would you want to do to me physically before I got out of that parking lot? Kill me. How would you want to kill me? How would you want to kill me? Beat me up with what? With a baseball bat, okay? No one was going to come down on you for anything. No right or wrong, no judgment issues. What would you want to do to me physically before I got out of that parking lot? You'd want to burn me to death, okay? I want the two of you guys, and I want everybody else in the graduating class, I want you guys to stop and think about this one. Guys, if these cars were the only reason you had friends, if these cars were the only image that everybody else in the world saw you through, if these cars were the only reason people cared about you, you know what I've actually done to the two of you? I've actually destroyed you. Your history, you are no more. So everyone, if you don't feel good from the inside, if you need the stuff in your lives to make you feel good about yourselves, someone at some point in your lives can take that all away. It's just that simple. Just that simple. Graduates, raise your hand if you have a best friend. Raise your hand. And now, raise your hand individually, any one of you, and tell me what makes that person a best friend to you. Anybody, what makes that person a best friend? Yes. She keeps your secrets. Excellent. Anybody else? What makes that person a best friend? There for you when you need them. Anybody else? Yes. No matter what you do, he understands or she understands. Anybody else? Yes. Trust and honesty. Anybody else? Good times or bad? Yes. I'm sorry? Cares about you for who you are. Okay? All right, why didn't the half dozen or so of you that just spoke, why didn't you mention the grades that person had, sports they played, cars they drove, money that they did or didn't have? Anybody? Anyone? It doesn't matter. It's not important. Why do we believe so much that it does matter? And let me show you something else that doesn't matter. If you were killed tonight on the way home in an automobile accident and we were having a memorial service in this auditorium for you, would you want people to only remember you for the Porsche? Only? How do you want people to remember you? For who you were. If you were killed tonight on the way home in an automobile accident, we were having a memorial service in this room for you. Want people to only remember you for the Viper? How do you want people to remember you? For who you were? Isn't it interesting, graduates and everybody else in the room? Not more than 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, these two guys were prepared to kill me with a baseball bat. They were prepared to burn me at the stake and kill me violently over two cars that they don't want to be remembered for. We complicate our lives. It is so simple. So simple. Stop, all of you graduates and everybody else here. Stop. This is all I'm asking from you tonight. Stop for 5 seconds and ask yourselves, how do I want the people in my life who I love and who love me to remember me? And put it up at the top of the list in your life and live it out. If some of you want to be remembered as a great friend, put that one up at the top of the list in your life and live it out. If some of you want to be remembered as a person who was there when people needed you, put that one up at the top of the list in your life and live it out. If some of you just want to be remembered as somebody who cared, put that one up at the top of the list in your life and live it out. That's not to say don't get the best job possible. That's not to say don't have a ton of friends. That's not to say don't make a sufficient amount of money. I'm simply saying to all of you here, stop for 5 seconds and ask yourselves, how do I want the people in my life who I love and who love me to remember me? And hope against hope, some of you have got the time to live that one out. Life has no guarantees. No guarantees. This point, by the way, I think last night was driven home clearer to me than any other time in my whole life. I got back on Sunday night after being on the road speaking for the last 2 weeks, and I found out that my closest friends in the world, that their 4-year-old daughter had drowned in the family swimming pool, and that she was in a coma at Children's Hospital, virtually brain dead. And I went there last night and spent most of the night just staring at a 4-year-old girl who had everything in the world to live for. And I watched the love around her. And I watched how many people expressed that love. And I hoped she would have heard it. You see, all of us in the room, that's what we need. We need to feel that somebody loves us. But so often we wear the mask. I spent my whole life like this, graduates, keeping people away. Don't get too close to me. You're going to find out that I'm weak. Don't get too close to me. You're going to find out that I'm insecure. Don't get too close to me. You're going to find out that I'm afraid. And I kept people away all my life because I was afraid they were going to leave me. When the very thing I wanted the most, graduates, was to let them in, to open up my heart. Because that's what people see first. They see your heart first, and then everything else follows. So if you're wearing a mask tonight, graduates, make a commitment to take that mask off. You see, we all want what I call the best friends theory. We all want a place that we know that no matter where we go, we will be loved and understood and cherished. And parents tonight who are here, that's what all of us need. They need it up here on the floor. All of you need it up there in the stands. We all need to feel that we're loved, but sometimes we're too afraid. and we've been hurt too much. So I'm challenging all of you graduates to go out tonight, to take off the masks, to let people see who you are, to be real. And most of all, I'm challenging all of you to take the love that's in this room, that's in these stands, that's in your hearts now, take it out, tell people in your life that you love them. That's the most important thing any of us could possibly hear in our whole lives. Could possibly hear. 20 years ago, I got an opportunity to go on the road when the Beatles first made their national tour. I was a photographer. And I was in Chicago, and John Lennon put a full-page ad in the Chicago Tribune asking to meet with 75 aspiring songwriters in the hope that the Beatles would find a new song, take it to the top of the charts, and make that person famous. In an auditorium on Northwestern University's campus, 75 people gathered, 5,000 applied for the privilege of being there. And I was in the back, and Lennon came out of the side curtain. He was the softest spoken man I've ever heard. And he came up to the mic, and barely above a whisper, he said to everybody in the room, he said, "I am no more talented than any of you." Nobody heard him. Everybody was whispering. I nudged the guy next to me. I hadn't heard a thing he said. And Lennon looked out at the audience and realized nobody had heard him. And he came back up to the mic, and in the loudest voice possible, he said to everybody in the room, he said, "I am no more talented than any of you." Sure enough, a guy in the back raised his hand, and he said, "Hey, John, how can you tell us we are nobodies? The world's singing your music, your concerts are standing room only, you're making a ton of money. How can you tell us we're nobodies?" He said, "The only difference between myself and you is if I've got a song inside, if I've got a dream in my gut, I can have somebody write it, somebody promote it, somebody play it, and hopefully buy it." Every one of you graduates has something special to offer, but it doesn't mean anything if all the people in your life get together to tell you how great you are if you don't buy it inside. It's my hope that one of you, and I've had this thousands of times because I live locally, one of you will see me walking down the street one day in a mall someplace, in an airport, come up and tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, Jim, I heard you speak 5, 10, 15 years ago. I want you to know I'm going after my dreams, feeling great about myself, and most of all, I'm giving to a whole lot of people in my life." And I'll walk away with an incredible smile on my face. Every one of you in this room can make something happen in your lives. And I really believe in you. And I really love you guys. You're what's possible. You're the hope for all of us in this room sitting here. Thank you so much tonight for touching my heart.
Thanks, Mr. Tooman. America the Beautiful will now be performed by Elizabeth Ely.
beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood. From sea to shining sea.
Very nice, Liza. The senior class song, A Whole New World, will be performed by Tammy Bade, Carrie Crane, and accompanied by Jennifer Sutter. Beautiful job, ladies. Very beautiful. Nice job. Thanks, Tammy, Carrie, and Jennifer. Here on the stage, I'd like to make some introductions now. And I'd like to introduce someone that this class is very familiar with, a gentleman who has grayed a little bit more this year than normal. And why wouldn't he? Things have been very difficult at times. But this man has worked very hard, very long hours, and dedicated himself to this class by pulling some of you along, kicking and shouting at times, I'm sure. But I'd like for the class and the audience to join with me in thanking this man for all his time in float building, fundraising, the homecoming times, the Spirit Week times when he was there and provided the leadership the class needed. So at this time, I'd like to recognize this year's senior class sponsor and thank his wife, Jan, also for all the work she's done, Mr. Robert Haas. Mr. Haas. Behind every successful school district, it takes a lot of excellent people working to provide the things for the students that we have here tonight. Our school district is very fortunate indeed to have 7 outstanding school board members. You know, they receive no pay for the outstanding job they do. Their time and dedication is a service they provide to our community in guiding and making the decisions for our school district. And we are very fortunate tonight to have 2 of those members with us who will help us present the diplomas to this class. And I would like to introduce these 2 gentlemen at this time. First of all, on my right is Mr. Gerald C. Andrews, trustee of the Board of Education. Mr. Andrews. And next, Dr. Daniel J. Wilhelm, who is trustee of the Board of Education. Dr. Wilhelm. Thank you both, gentlemen.